Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Natalie Southgate. I'm the creator of Chakra Dance. And today I want to come in and talk about the crown chakra, share a few tips and guidance on how you can work with this chakra and bring healing to it. So this chakra is the crown. It literally is the crown of the head, gives us a bit of an understanding of it. In many ways, it's like the master chakra. And it's really all about, well, it's around two aspects, really. It's about our own connection with our own highest source of spirituality. Okay, so that'll be different for each of us. This is about discovering the God of your own understanding and finding a way for you to make a connection with that. Okay, so we'll go further into that. The other aspect of this chakra is about connecting with your own soul essence, that higher self of who you are. You know, this is where when we get here, this is where we say to ourselves, really, who am I? Who am I beyond the job that I do and the relationships that I have and the family that I have and the home that I have and the goals that I have and the dreams that I have? We tend to connect ourselves so strongly to all of these things, all of these aspects of our lives. But beyond this, who am I? Who are you? Who's the I that is watching this? Okay, and this is the soul aspect. This is that higher soul aspect. And I think what can happen so easily in our lives, we get very caught up in the day-to-day, the busyness, the to-do lists, the dramas that go on, and we run and we carry on, and it's all just get through. And there's a loss when we lose connection with this sacredness. This, you could wrap it all up in that word, this inner sacredness of our own soul essence, our own sense of spirituality. Life can tend to feel tougher, and it can tend to feel a little bit lacking in meaning sometimes. Okay, we can get overly attached to just this kind of physical realm. And obviously we're here having a physical life. So, you know, we want to enjoy that as well. But we do want to keep this connection going. You know, I've studied shamanic work in the past, and in traditional shamanic cultures, they believe that a lot of the symptoms that we suffer, so addictions and depression and anxiety and compulsive behaviors, these kinds of things, they believe arise through a loss of connection to our soul. Okay, and you've only got to look out at the world to see how rife these kinds of symptoms are. So many of us are disconnected from that sacred aspect within us. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there just suffering in silence with it. There's a lot of people taking medication to kind of try and deal with the symptoms. And I'm not anti-medication. I think take whatever medication you need, as long as you're doing the underlying healing work, because often medication is just healing the symptom. And if the real reason is this loss of connection, then doing the inner work, the healing work, the soul work, the spiritual work, to connect in with that deeper part of you at the same time will help you heal, will help you grow. So there are many different practices that you can do for working with this. Obviously, things like meditation. Meditation is a wonderful way of letting go of the outside distractions, the outside world, and bringing your awareness to the inner realm. Okay, things like the power of ritual, the power of sacred ceremony. Okay, it's no surprise that a lot of the great religions use this, and you don't have to be religious to do this. You may have a religion, a practice that you follow, and you may not. Okay, it may be more of a spiritual path that you're on, but still using the power of ritual and sacred ceremony puts a sign within us. It's a sign to the inner psyche, to the inner soul, of intention, of sacred intention. It acts as like a gateway from one world to the other world within us, from the outer world to the inner realm within us. So bringing more sacred it doesn't have to be sacred ceremonies as such, but bringing more of a sense of sacredness into your life, whether that's just sitting in your garden for a few minutes every day and being with the beauty of nature and really appreciating it. Gratitude is a beautiful way to connect with this, but actually creating a little ritual around that. You might like to just light a candle and take some time to actually breathe and gaze at the flame, or even light a candle and bring it to the dinner table, bring a sense of sacredness. It doesn't have to be these isolated rituals and ceremonies. It can be, you can bring in things like that, but you can just weave the sense of sacredness and gratitude and this sense of reverence, I guess, into your life. Like if you think about it, we are very honored to be here. We're very privileged to be here. I love the way that Deepak Chopra talks about this chakra and this whole kind of topic. You know, he says that we are spiritual beings in physical form. And he says that we're not human beings having the occasional spiritual experiences. We are spiritual beings having the occasional human experience. Yeah, so it's quite a different thing. But just to have that, when you start to really connect with this chakra and connect with this sacredness, there is this gratitude for the blessing of being here in this life. It's not like we want to detach ourselves from this life. It's not like by detaching from the worrying about the more physical realm, we don't take care of our responsibilities anymore, or we think less of it. It's actually paradoxically the opposite. The more we kind of detach from being in the physical realm, the more we find the respect and the gratitude for having this life. And the more we can bring this sacredness and this soul guidance into everything that we do in our everyday life. And it's like the most simple of things in our lives, in our day-to-day lives, take on more meaning, take on more depth. So there's this sense of just reverence for being here and being alive and being on this earth walk. So it's kind of a paradox to get into this side of yourself, but then this honoring that comes from that. So ceremonies, back to what the tips that you can do, sacred ceremonies, rituals, things like, whether it, you know, as I said, it might be a religion for you, but it might be that, you know, riding a wave in the ocean is your form of spirituality. It might be climbing up that mountain and reaching the top and breathing in that fresh air and looking out at the most incredible landscape is your kind of connection. It might be, I know for me, watching a sunset and a sunrise does something to me. It's like it brings in that sense of soul. Obviously, chakra dance. I always have to mention chakra dance because it's the most beautiful practice. I actually originally called it a dance practice for the soul. And in many ways, it is about bringing the soul energy of who we are, especially in the crown chakra. We do a whole dance on It's the Soul's Turn to Dance, where we bring the soul energy in and really connect with the light, the spirit of who we are, and bring that through. So chakra dance as a practice is just amazing. Prayer, if you're someone who prays, and it may, I think one of the most beautiful prayers is thank you. You know, it doesn't have to be elaborate. Thank you can be the most beautiful prayer. The other thing I think is really important in this chakra, and this is something that's been a big lesson for me, is to remember that we do have spiritual support. And that may feel different for each of us, depending on your belief system, but there is higher support for all of us. And we can go through life, and sometimes it can feel really tough where we feel like we have to rely on our own strength to get through everything. And that can feel really, really hard. And we can actually surrender over our struggles, surrender our struggles over to a higher force, the God of our own understanding, and ask for help, ask for divine guidance, ask for divine solutions, ask to be shown the way, ask for the weight to be lifted. Okay, miracles can happen here from this working with this higher energy. So we're not alone. We're beautiful spiritual beings, and we have come into our lives other souls who, you know, at some level we've called in, whether we've decided before we come here or whether what happens when we get here, who knows? But we have souls that come into our lives. It might be, you know, family members, it might be romantic partners, it might be your pets, okay, that come into your life on that soul level to teach us lessons, to enrich our lives in all sorts of ways. So know that, you know, you can almost see the things that happen in your life and the people you meet as these part of your soul journey, part of your soul growth. And sometimes, you know, we call them spiritual assignments. Sometimes there's challenging things that can come up for us, but there'll be some soul growth in there for us. So this is the realm of the crown chakra. Obviously, you can see the color is around these beautiful violets and purples, and a lot of gold can come through as well. So bringing the vibrational frequency of those colors into your life through your clothes, through flowers, through candles, like I have done, through crystals, can all help bring this frequency. So sending you many blessings. This is a beautiful, beautiful chakra to spend some time meditating in, dancing in, praying in, and seeing the shifts that can happen within us and in our outer life when we really start to engage deeply with this chakra. Sending you many blessings.